I see today. I found a dance class, so I found the ancient or escapade the stairway or something. And then or is it main and end? Thanks for cheeseburger.
We don't have a cheeseburger.
We don't have a cheeseburger. Captain Crud.
Captain Crud?
Somebody's coming to hide.
Your hair is all over the place. You're a mess.
I'm a mess.
You are a mess. Hey guys. So today I just wanted to make a quick video about autism meltdowns, what they are, and ways that we have found to get through them. Are you making fun of me? Yeah. Having the kids in the videos is always fun. If you've noticed in most of our videos where we have the children, if we're out and about, we have at least one meltdown that happens either on camera or off camera. Both boys have at least one meltdown a day. They're happy right now though, thankfully. Typically it's multiple meltdowns a day. Bad days are constant meltdowns, like all day long, they'll wake up crying kind of thing. So what is an autism meltdown? It is not a temper tantrum. Hi. There is always a trigger, always a cause for a meltdown. Even if you can't identify what the trigger is, something caused it. The person with autism just loses complete control over their actions, everything. So it's not like you can reason with them to get them through it. So things that we have done is, of course, you want to identify the triggers, avoid them when possible, work to getting them used to the trigger so that it doesn't cause a meltdown. They are so hyper tonight. It is past our bedtime. They just get more and more hyper. Ways that we get through meltdowns. So I'll start with Hito since he's the oldest. For Hito, we found he did really well with being just put in a room and he could work through it. He did get, and the reason for putting him in a room was getting him away from people because for a long time he would get violent, especially with younger children, or even us. He would hit, kick, bite. He was definitely our worst biter. So just getting him away from people, he could de-escalate a lot quicker because for one, he likes being around people. Secondly, if he gets a reaction by hurting someone, the meltdown will go on longer. So you've seen the boys' bedroom in previous videos where it's pretty much just beds in it. We wanted to make a safe place for Hito to be and know that he couldn't wreck anything or hurt himself. He did for a while. Oh, you okay?
Yeah, okay.
So Hito did for a while kick walls and hit the door, things like that, but then we would talk to him after the meltdown was over and tell him that it was not acceptable. He did it less frequently. At one point we thought he was going to put a hole in a wall, but he never did, thankfully. What did happen, however, is that we left some of our bedtime books in the room one day when he was having a meltdown, and he took one of the board books and threw it. He threw it at the window though, and actually smashed a pane of the window. That actually kind of snapped him out of his meltdown, and he realized what he did, and he was profusely apologetic, and he never again threw something like that, and he's been very good since then at not destroying property. Not hitting the walls, not kicking the doors, anything like that. So it's kind of like he learned his lesson. We weren't even mad. Like, we were just concerned that he got cut by the glass, but he didn't. And so when he was old enough, though, to start opening the door and coming out of the room, not listening to us about having to stay in the room until he finished his meltdown, we put up a baby gate that he could not open, and that worked for a long time. We don't have the baby gate up anymore because he doesn't need it. He knows that he has to stay in the room until he calms himself down. For Carmelo, going in a room by himself has never worked. Going to the room with me or Matt and kind of sitting in the dark does help him de-escalate, but that's not always an option because I need to watch the other two children. So for Carmelo, we found that deep pressure, like hugs, just holding him works very well. So you'll see, I'll put in a clip here of me holding him through a meltdown just recently. I don't squeeze him the whole time. I'm not holding him. I'm basically just putting my arms around him in a circle, but he's free to move around. But he doesn't. Like, he doesn't try to escape most of the time. If we're in a public place, he might try to escape because he's trying to run to somewhere. But so me holding him is actually a safety thing for Carmelo so that he doesn't dart from us and run during a meltdown because he tries to escape sometimes. But I know when he needs like some deep pressure, so every now and then I'll give him a nice squeeze and he likes it. And it actually helps him. I can also rub his back in that position, so that helps him. We'll give him a towel for his face and tissue to blow his nose into. Typical meltdowns for us can last about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. But they can go as long as 30 to 40 minutes. So we never know when it starts, how long it's going to last. They'll start getting better and then all of a sudden they'll scream again. So it doesn't matter how long the meltdown lasts. Our main concern as parents is to keep the kids safe. So whether it's making sure that there's no hazards in the room for Hito, when he needs to calm down in a room, or holding Carmelo through his entire meltdown. Yeah, now she's been crying too.
Yeah.
During a meltdown, they just can't control what they're doing. So they may run, they may throw themselves down, they may throw things, they may attack people. You kind of never know what they might do next. Carmelo has thrown himself down into the floor to the point where like he hurt his head, or they'll like slip and fall. Things like that can happen. So we just have to keep them safe throughout the meltdown. One other thing I found with Carmelo is if we're in the car and he's having a meltdown, I just keep him in his car seat. It's the safest place for him to be. He can't get out of it. He can't hurt himself while he's in the car seat. Our biggest thing for Hito right now is that when he's having a meltdown, he has started to self-harm again, which for him is right now hitting his head. He got away from that for a couple of years, but now he's doing it again. He'll start pounding on his head when he's really frustrated. So we have to figure out how to work through that. And like I said before, it's different from a tantrum. It's on another level. Like, just think of that child that you've probably seen at a store who, like, you know, you hear comments about the child just needs more discipline. Well, it's probably not that. It's probably a meltdown. And the parents are just trying to do what they can do. So yes, they'll let them stay on the floor and scream until they're over it, because there's nothing you can do to help them get over it. Maybe you can redirect them sometimes, but you can't talk them out of it. They can't really reason their way out of it. You just have to get through it, and then you just deal with the fallout. And a lot of times Hito, when he has his really bad ones,
Yep, that's me.
yes, he'll end up crying because he's so sorry about how he was acting through his meltdown.
I hear all.
You hear all.
Yeah. Congratulations. We got back in.
So yeah, that was just a little bit of information about autism meltdowns and how we deal with them. Again, every person's different. How they can get through their meltdowns will be different. You just have to find those ways of how to help. So Carmelo, it's deep pressure. Hito, it's isolation. Every child's different. Yeah. You say bye?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And join your channel. You subscribe. Bye. And remember to enter one else. You subscribe. Bye. And when airport you in Japan or the city. Congratulations. We got back in. Yay. On the wing, one and one. We are to now. We turn amongst the enter time. We must be two ones of all.